What time is it? TaWyana time. TaWyana. TaWyana. Hey guys, I am back with another video, and today I'm doing something different, okay? So today I want to just walk you guys through the process of how I make soap. So I thought this would be very interesting for you guys to see my process, so that is what I'm going to do. And before we jump into this video, I want you guys to make sure that you subscribe down below if you're not already subscribed, and make sure that you give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and leave a comment down below if you want some other videos, letting me know what other kind of videos you would like to see. Yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this video. So first I'm going to start off by making my lye solution. So I have my scale here, and then I have my distilled water, and then I have my container that I make my lye in. This container is a number 5. I don't know if y'all can see, but this container is a number 5 container. And then I have the container that I'm going to measure out my lye in, and then I have the of course, the sodium hydroxide or lye. And my lye that I use is food grade lye, and I get mine from Nature's Garden. I'm going to take my container that I'm going to be mixing the lye solution in, and I'm going to put it on my scale, and then I'm going to turn the scale on, and it is going to be set to 0. And I like to weigh in ounces, so that's what I will be doing. So according to my recipe here, because I always keep my recipe nearby when I am making my soap, I need 21.19 ounces of liquid. So I am going to take my distilled water, and I'm going to measure out 21.19 ounces of liquid. So most of the time when I'm measuring out, I try to get to almost exactly where I'm supposed to be when it comes to like the liquids and stuff. So now that I have this measured, I'm going to set this to the side over here. And then I'm going to take this container and I am going to put it on the scale, and I'm going to tear it out, turn it to 0. And I need 9.48 ounces of lye. By the way, the soap calculator that I use is from Brambleberry, which I really love it. It's very, very simple to use. And I am making 100.67 ounces. That's the batch that I'm making today. So yes, so I need 9.48 ounces of lye. Okay, that is right on the dot. Now I am done with my scale for now. I will set this to the side. And then I will bring back my water over here. And let me get my spatula for mixing. Okay, so I absolutely love these rubber spatulas. Now I did buy some from Dollar Tree that I typically use the ones from Dollar Tree for my lye because the edges are thicker. And so it's not as it doesn't scrape as good when it comes to scraping the soap. But I bought some from from Amazon that are really, really good because the edge is really thin and it scrapes up really, really good. So yeah, I'm going to use the one from Dollar Tree to do my lye. So what I do is I normally put on a mask because the fumes from the lye really makes me choke. And now that I have my mask on, I am going to go ahead and just pour the lye into the water. There is a lot of static cling when it comes to the lye granules. So you have to be careful that they don't pop on you. And most of the time I try to just get out as much as I can into my water. So now what I do is I just like to mix it until I don't feel anything grainy at the bottom. So that is what I will do. And of course, when you're mixing the lye and the water, it's going to heat up. It's going to get really, really hot. So please be careful. Okay, so now the bottom of the container is silky smooth. So that lets me know that all of the lye has been mixed up. And I will show you guys how hot it is. So I have this infrared thermometer and I'm going to go ahead and see. So if you guys can see that, it is 200 degrees Fahrenheit. So that is pretty hot. I will set this to the side and let it cool off for approximately 2 hours so that it's workable. I like to work with my lye at room temperature. So I'm going to go ahead and let it cool off, and then I'll be back once it's cooled. So while we wait for the lye to cool off, I'm going to go ahead and mix up my micas, make my color how I want it to look. So what I typically do is I use olive oil, and I'm just going to use this little glass bowl. I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in there. That should be enough. I love mixing up the different colors to come up with unique colors and stuff like that. So I'm going to mix this up because the fragrance that I'm using is a pomegranate fragrance. So I want it to be like a purpley reddish color. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start mixing all of these, and I also have some biodegradable glitter here. It's a hollow glitter, and I'm going to use some of this in it as well. I may also sprinkle some on top. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'll make that decision, I guess, when the time comes. So yeah, just watch me mix this on up. Now that I have my colors mixed, I can go ahead and move on to the next step, which is going ahead and measuring out and melting my oils, the fragrance oil, all of that good stuff. So that's what I'm going to jump into next. Okay, so on to measuring my oils. I have my scale here. Now when it comes to my olive oil, I typically just measure it out into the bucket because it's a lot of olive oil in my recipe. So what I need is have my recipe book right here. I need 35.70 ounces of olive oil. So I will go ahead and turn my scale on. Make sure that it is at 0. And let me turn this so that you guys can see what the scale is doing. Okay, scale is at 0. And we're trying to get to 35.70. Let's see if I can hit it right on the nail. Went over just a little bit, but it's okay. We got close. Okay, so now I'm going to set this to the side, and then the next oil that I am going to measure out is going to be my castor oil. Okay, so I have this container that I'm going to measure out my castor oil in. I'm going to tear this to 0, and I need 7 ounces of castor oil. Okay, have my castor oil measured out, and now I'm going to get this into the container. Oops, splashed it. I have the castor oil all nice and measured out. Next, I am going to do the coconut oil. And for the coconut oil, I'm going to measure it out, and then I'm going to go and melt it, and then I'll pour it into here. So I keep my coconut oil in this big old container here. It just makes it a lot easier because when I got it from I believe I got my coconut oil from Nature's Garden, and it comes in a jug, and of course it's solidified, so I can't get it out. So I just like melt it down and then transfer it to this container. So for my coconut oil, I need 16.10 ounces. Alright, got my coconut oil all measured out, and now I am going to go and melt it. So while the coconut oil is melting, I'm going to go ahead and measure out my sodium lactate. The sodium lactate is to help the help the soap harden faster. So I love it. It does exactly what it says it does, because there's been times where I forgot to put sodium lactate, and yeah, the soap was sticky. It was hard to come out the mold. It was, yeah, it was a hot mess. So sodium lactate definitely works. I use 1 teaspoon per pound of oils, and my I have 4.5 pounds of oils, so I use 4.5 teaspoons, which comes out to 0.75 ounces. I'm also going to go ahead and measure out my fragrance oil. The fragrance oil that I'm using is from Aztec, and it is pomegranate mandarin. So I really like the way this smells. The name of this soap is going to be TT's Pomegranate Bam Jam. So this is a soap that is named after me. Super excited. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and measure out my my fragrance oil for this batch. Now I'm gonna set this to the side until it's time to get it all mixed in. My coconut oil is all nice and melted. Time to pour it in. All right, now it is time for the shea butter. I keep my shea butter in this container. It normally comes in a plastic bag, but I don't like getting it out of that plastic bag, so I put it in this container that I got. All right, we are close enough. I am going to go and melt this down, and then I'll be back. Sorry guys, I didn't press record when I put the shea butter in here, but shea butter is in here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my thermometer, and I'm going to test the temperature of both my lye solution. So I have my lye solution right over here. I'm going to test the temperature of the oils in the lye solution, make sure that they are within 10 degrees of each other. If they are not, then I am going to wait until the oils cool down a little bit before I start to mix them. So the oils are 114 right now, and then the lye is 69. So I'm gonna have to let the oils cool down some. They're mainly extremely hot because of the shea butter. It takes longer for the shea butter to melt down. It needs a higher heat to melt down, so it tends to be hotter. So I'm gonna just let these cool down for maybe 15 minutes, and then I'll be back to check on them and make sure that they're within 10 degrees of each other, and then we'll get started mixing them up. All right, so now my oils have been sitting for approximately 30 minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and check them. So my lye is sitting at 69 degrees. And the oils are at 82. So that's pretty close. I think we are good to go. And I'm going to go ahead and first I'm going to go ahead and assemble my stick blender here. Now that I have my stick blender in here, I'm going to go ahead and burp it, which is just getting those air bubbles out of the stick thingy at the bottom of it. And then I am going to gently pour in my lye solution. And remember, I put my sodium lactate in here. So I'm going to try to pour it down the stick as easy and gentle as I can. I'm just going to mix it around a little bit, and then I'm gonna start pulsing it so that it can start to blend. And again, I want to be very careful as not to splash any on myself, because it will result in a chemical burn because of the lye. So now I am going to go ahead and take this out real quick. So let me get my little scraping tool, I'm gonna take this out so that I can add in my color. Alright, so now I am going to take my colorant and I'm going to add it to my soap. Now that I have that in there, I'm just going to mix it in with the spatula. I always like to mix it in with the spatula first so that I'm not over mixing the soap. I really like this color. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in my fragrance oil, and I'm going to mix it in with the spatula first, and then I'm going to mix it in with the stick blender. I'm going to mix this until I don't see any more streaks of the oil, the fragrance oil on top. I'm going to scrape off all this excess soap off of my stick blender. It makes it so much easier when it comes to the cleaning process. All right, now for the fun part, the pouring time. It's time to go ahead and pour my soap into the molds. My soap is pretty thick. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's pretty thick right now, so it's gonna set up pretty nicely, I believe. So I tried to go ahead and scrape out almost every little bit of soap that I possibly can get out, because it makes it an easier process when it comes for cleanup. And I'm just going to go ahead and smooth down all of the top, make sure the soap is settled in every spot, and then I'll get to making the top look a little bit better than this. For the tops, I'm thinking about, I don't know, I'm just going to play around with it and see what I like, and then go from there. Okay, so I actually really like that. Okay, so I'm actually really digging how I just did that. I think I'm gonna leave that. A lot of times I have to fix it back and then start over because I don't like how it turns out, but I'm actually really liking how this came out. So I'm gonna leave that. So I've decided that I am gonna go ahead and put on some of the holographic glitter on top. I'm gonna spritz the top with this is 91% rubbing alcohol. I'm gonna spritz the top with this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and sprinkle on my alcohol. I mean, sprinkle on my glitter. All right, look at that. So I'm gonna spritz the top once more with alcohol, just to seal that in. And then the alcohol also helps the soap not get soda ash. So yes, now I'm gonna go ahead and clean off the sides one final time. It is time to let these sit. These are gonna sit for about 24 hours, just so that they can harden and they can get they're able to come out of the mold easily. If you guys would like to see a video of these soaps being cut, let me know. Like this video, leave a comment in the comment box down below, and I'll make a video of me cutting this specific soap right here. If you're not already, make sure that you subscribe down below so you're not missing out on any videos that I post, and make sure you hit that bell so that you're notified of every time I post a video. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. Before we leave, I'm gonna give you a nice little close-up of how glittery this soap is. Look at that. It's so pretty. Yay. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next video. Bye.